Okay, so I just heard Dawn FM and I am making this video immediately, so I might have missed a couple of stuff, but this shit was great. I have so many thoughts right now that I don't even know which one to go over. The concept of the album is this radio station, and this is definitely my type of vibe, you know, vaporwave, 80s, cyberpunk, Vice City type beat. It starts off with the track Dawn FM and Jim Carrey snaps at the end. I'd be lying if I didn't say that this didn't like creep me out a little bit, because you have Jim Carrey talking about accept your faith with open arms. In Gasoline, he kind of has this weird voice, which I love. I definitely like that one because it did remind me heavy of one of the Vice City characters, or something a Vice City character would sound like. It also kind of references the last track on After Hours, but I don't think it is necessarily a continuation because it's just too loose. I take it kind of as him looking forward to dying. The next track, he kind of is talking to this girl, and which to me sets up the story for the album, as this potential relationship is gonna be referenced throughout the album. Then we head into an extended version of Take My Breath, which I wasn't sure if it was official or not, so I'm definitely happy to see that it is part of the album. A lot of references to dying in this album because the hook in the contents of the album is kind of a bit weirder. Like, I don't know, the bar Take My Breath and Make It Last Forever is just on a whole different context with the album. I think this is kind of him spitting game towards this chick, and he's kind of in the stage where he tries to get to know the girl better, which kind of transitions very well into sacrifice because he sees the value in life now that he's around her some more. I just got done recording another segment for this video and realized that sacrifice is when they are in a relationship and they're explaining why the relationship won't work, because both of them aren't ready to sacrifice, or aren't willing to at least, even though they're trying. I could be wrong, but that's what I got from it. The next track is Out of Time, where he realizes that she's kind of falling for someone else and there's nothing he can do about it. He was probably too indecisive and she just made her mind up and went with someone else, but the Weeknd is like, well, but if he messed up, you know. And at the end of the track, Mr. Jim Carrey comes back and he encourages the listener to not switch the station, of course, but again he does this weird thing where he puts out a message in this weird tone and it kind of creeps you out. Honestly, some of his words can be looked at as positives, you know, when he's saying you'll be healed. Then he says you may even forget your own name, and that's, you know, weirds you out. Then you head into an interlude with Quincy Jones. It's a quick story about his regrets, and as we'll get into the second half of the album, you'll see more of how this fits into the contents of the album. Then there's Here We Go Again with Tyler the Creator. Honestly, I thought this was gonna be the biggest track on the album, but I feel like it'll be more of an album cut that people listen to. It's a cool track and I love Tyler's verse. In terms of the story that the album is going for, I think this is kind of a detour. Tyler's verse is one of my favorite on the albums, and the song ends up with another plug-in for the station, Dawn 103.5. In the next track, Best Friends, The Weeknd is basically saying that they ended up being friends. He says that he loves her, but he knows they can't be anything closer than that. And oh shit, I just hit my phone. I ain't saying I relate, but like low-key, I just hit my finger, dog. Is There Someone Else is when the girl finally gets into another relationship, and I guess by the end he tries one more time to kind of reel her back in by saying he changed for the better and whatever else. Starry Eyes is kind of an interlude for me, but he still tries another time to win her over again, this time by saying he's been through worse and that he doesn't care, you know. He says break me, kick me to the curb type beat. Actually, he literally said that, but what I mean is that he just wants a chance. It doesn't matter to him if he gets heartbroken or not. Before going into the next song though, Every Angel Is Terrifying is literally a commercial. This is one of those songs where I'm sure I'll find the meaning like 3 months from now, but for now it's just a cool interlude, just commercial break. It seems like he had a change of heart with Don't Break My Heart, because 2 tracks ago he was literally talking about break me and shit. I think the second verse is referring to After Hours when he says, and the girl I used to love, we broke up in the club and I almost died in the discotheque, because at the end of After Hours he ends up overdosing. And basically in this song he's just like, I'd rather you get broken than me. It's It's like he came back down to earth and realized what was happening. I Heard You're Married is literally him finding out that she is married and him starting to regret all the things that he did. Reading the album, I'm pretty sure a lot of time has passed by and that's why he's an old guy in the album cover. In the story for this song, I don't know if he's being delusional when he says that the girl is cheating with him. And the Lil Wayne feature is pretty cool as well. He hasn't missed on a feature in like 2 years, so that's pretty cool because he stays on topic as well. Then at the end, The Weeknd kind of comes to terms with the fact that he can't be with this girl because it's not good for him. I guess that's another one where I have to come back to it someday, but not now. We move on to Less Than Zero, which in my opinion is definitely going to be the biggest song on this album. It just sounds like it's going to be the biggest song on the album. It sounds like a big hit already. And again, The Weeknd just can't come to terms with the fact that she moved on from him. Like, how come you have changed so quickly? You wanted to die together. And I think this song is referencing back to Sacrifice, because in Sacrifice they say, I hold you through the toughest part when you feel like it's the end. I don't know which side is saying this, but someone said it. Jim Carrey greets us in the outro, and this is something that I'm definitely going back to because his message is definitely going over my head. I mean, I understand what his message is and what he's going for, but I don't fully understand how to explain this. It's definitely something that I want to come back to and make a video about, but the best way I can explain it right now is that it's kind of like him explaining why you need to let go, and maybe even revealing that Dawn FM is for those who have an inability to let go. Within the context of the album is probably like a goodbye message from the radio host, and this whole outro is full of bars. Like, seriously, Jim Carrey showed out here. He carried. My favorite bar on this song, I guess, would be the last two, because he says, you gotta be heaven to see heaven, may peace be with you. And you know, that just hits. And although I might not be able to explain why right now, I will someday. I will come back to this. But that is how the album ends, and I gotta admit, this is one of my favorite albums of all time, and I guess I might be riding high off a first listen, but it definitely is up there. If you have some time, I'd recommend for you to check out the whole thing, but here are my favorite songs. I'd recommend for you to listen to the intro first because it is a really good sounding song, and although it isn't a song, it at least kind of presents to you the concept for the album. I'd check out Gasoline just to hear The Weeknd's voice. It is pretty cool throughout the verses, and I'm not talking about his singing. Here We Go Again. I'm gonna say it again. The Tyler the Creator feature is pretty cool. The song is pretty cool. The track Best Friend also sounds pretty cool for me. I definitely give the Lil Wayne and Weeknd song a chance. I'm pretty sure it will be kind of a big hit or a big-ish hit. Then the last song that I'm gonna recommend is Less Than Zero. You're probably gonna hear it on the radio. It's probably gonna be all over TikTok, but still, I really like this song and I believe in it. Although I'll admit it won't be as big as Blinding Lights, it will still be a pretty big song. And then I check out the outro because, yeah, Jim Carrey just goes off on that. He's not rapping or anything on that, by the way, but it's still pretty good. And with that being said, thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. I don't know. Jay Dilla's gonna roll in the outro. So yeah.